celebrating Women Who Lead tonight in recognition of Women's History Month, which happens each March as a celebration of women's contributions to history, culture, and society. My name is Mary Smith. I'm a managing director at the Bank of Montreal here in Atlanta. BMO is a proud sponsor of the Atlanta Vibe, and we're a company that champions the inclusion, connection, advancement, and support of women. So I'm glad to be a part of that. Our purpose is to grow the good in business and life, and our support of women in business, our community, and in our culture is a top priority at BMO, and one that made our support of the Atlanta Vibe a very obvious choice. As you know, it's a woman-owned and led organization. So thank you all again for coming tonight. I am honored to introduce our panelists, or let them introduce themselves. We'll pass the microphone down, and then we'll dive into some questions that where they can answer that have helped them differentiate themselves in their careers and help them to become better leaders. So, Lauren, we'll start with you.
Great, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here with all of you tonight. Thank you for coming out. My name is Lauren Koontz. I'm the president and CEO of the YMCAs of Metro Atlanta. My career actually started at a sports marketing agency, and while I was getting my MBA, I was doing sports marketing, which was, honestly, I was doing that right when Jerry Maguire came out. So if you've seen Jerry Maguire, honestly, it was just like that. I'm not exaggerating. It was very flashy, but I made the leap to nonprofit after I got my MBA, and I've spent the last 25 years really trying to make our community stronger, more connected, and better. And I became the first woman CEO of the YMCA of Metro Atlanta in its more than 165-year history back in 2019. So I'm a big believer of women leaders, and I'm a big believer of women supporting other women, and I'm just thrilled to be here with you tonight.
I am Gina Espinosa. I'm CEO of Hope Beckham Espinosa. That's a marketing and communications agency. And I am a trained and seasoned journalist that had to pivot to become an entrepreneur. And not easy, but I made it. And thank you. I'm very excited to be here.
Hi, I'm Catherine Brewton. I am an executive at Broadcast Music, Inc. It's a performance rights organization. My career, I started at GE as in the management training program, then worked for the Grammys for about 2 years before I was recruited to BMI. And similar trajectory, I think the space that I've been in has been really extraordinary to be able to travel the world and work with some of the best artists in the world. But I think my greatest joy, and I think Kenneth somewhere who's here, has been the philanthropic work. My mom was a pastor and built a community center, and she passed away a decade ago, and I started Hope for Harvest, which is an organization that serves underserved youth. And what I found, and I'll be brief, is kids after COVID were really displaced at a level I've not seen in my adult life. And so we just were boots on the ground figuring it out. So I'm so happy to be here, and I say often, and I'll pass the mic, I care more about what I don't get paid to do, and that is serve the community. So.
Good evening, everybody. I am Jann Joseph. Some people call me Dr. Jann Joseph, but I always said my mom just named me Jann, so you could call me that. But I am proud to serve as the third president of Georgia Gwinnett College. For those of you not familiar with us, we're a little bit off the road from here, off of Collins Hill and the Collins Industrial. The campus is celebrating its 20th year, and I arrived here in 19, serving as the third president, and my responsibility is to take it from its teenagehood, at 14 when I arrived, into its adulthood. And we have been very, very successful, a growing campus, and I'm very, very proud to serve my community here in Gwinnett.
Hey guys, super excited to be here. My name is Priah Ferguson. I'm an actress. You all might be familiar with my role in Stranger Things, where I played Erica Sinclair, Netflix's Stranger Things. I've also been in my The Curse of Bridge Hollow, starring Marlon Wayans. I played his daughter. And that was on Netflix as well. I've done voiceover work for Disney Hamsters and Gretel, where I played Bailey, and Netflix is My Dad the Bounty Hunter, and I played Lisa in that, so I am an actress. But I partnered with Atlanta Vibe as their youth brand strategist to, bring the youth out to the games and whatnot, and how to support Atlanta Vibe, Gen Z, that kind of stuff. So I'm really excited to be here, and yeah.
Good evening. I am Tarita Rogers. I'm Amazon's head of community affairs for the Atlanta region. And I promise you I've been sitting all day, so I can't promise you that I'll stay in this chair because the energy in this room is so phenomenal. I am originally from Washington, D.C., but came to Atlanta to attend Clark Atlanta University and then started my career in the mayor's office in Atlanta. So I've had some wonderful opportunities, but one of the things that's been consistent is that I've dedicated my life to improving communities, improving local communities. And so working with Amazon, that's part of what I do every single day, is I work with our nonprofit partners, elected officials, and local communities to see how we can leverage Amazon resources to improve life for our customers, our employees, and our communities. And so I am so excited about being on this panel with all of these wonderful game changers and look forward to sharing more.
Thank you, ladies. All right, our format now, after introductions, we are going to ask some questions and ask that you share some of your game-changing experience, ladies, and what you have experienced and what it takes to be a game changer in your line of work. So I'm going to start with Priah and Catherine. I'm going to let you both answer this question. How have you been a game changer in your respective career?
For me, I would definitely say that being an actress for almost 10 years now and being on a show where it's uncommon for youthful emerging actors and actresses to be on such a critically international critically acclaimed show, I would definitely say that I kind of helped change the game with that. I help producers and directors and casting directors put their eyes on the youth in Atlanta, the actors in Atlanta who are trying to grind constantly. So I was definitely a game changer in that aspect. I will also say that I'm a senior in high school, so most kids in this industry, they kind of not drop out of school, but they decide to do homeschool to focus on their careers and whatnot. That was not my case. I knew from a very early age I did not want to do homeschool. I tried it out and I did not like it. So I kind of had to learn how to balance school and work if this was something that I wanted to do. And I'm one of the few actresses in this business who goes to public school, every day and still do what I love to do. So that's very rare and very uncommon. So that's what I'm gonna say.
A game changer, that's interesting. I think I go back to, we often have in life people who are, I wouldn't even say high achievers, you just are figuring it out daily, that's what I'm saying. You have this plan and this path that you choose based on a narrative, and when my mom died in 2007, she had amassed this massive imprint in Charlotte, 2 campuses, 19 transition homes. And I remember sitting down with the trust lawyer, and he was like, well, I received Catherine Brewton. I'm like, what do you mean? And he said, this is for you to figure out. And so I walked away so uncertain because I had this full, robust music career that was important because so much of my life was predicated on me working and then helping fund my mom's, philanthropic work. But God had a different plan, so I had to really set back, and I continued to go to Charlotte every weekend, and work 9 to 5. So it became a job that I never really envisioned happening. But I think it took me 5 years to get comfortable with me honestly saying, God, what is your purpose for me in this footprint? I'm not my mother. And I said that often. I said, God, I'm not my mother. I said, she was, I really believe in Mother Teresa of our time. And so as I began to earnestly ask myself and pray about my next step, God just began to connect people. Khaled and Wardell, the co-chair of the foundation, is here. Philip works with the foundation. People who were like-minded, who saw a greater purpose. So I think the game changer for me is trust the process. Understand that sometimes it's not the monetary things that will bring you your greatest joy. It is the gifts that you plant in every child or every homeless person that show up. All they want is just to be seen as a human and to be loved. So that would be, for me, the biggest game changer. And I pray that my mom is proud of me.
Thank you both, Catherine. I'm sure she is very proud of you. And thank you for sharing that, both Priah and Catherine. Our next question is for Lauren and Jann. Can you identify a game-changing experience?
I am going to get major street cred points with my kids because I met you. Like, I'm going to be really cool tonight when I see my kids. But let's see, a game-changing moment or a pivotal moment. You know, I'd been at the YMCA of Metro Atlanta for 7 years before I became the CEO, but I had only been the CEO for about 9 months when COVID hit. And in the course of a week, we went from running 20 branches, 19 early learning centers, 70 plus after school sites, 5 outdoor centers, to all of it being closed. And you know, we really had to ask ourselves as a nonprofit, what core capabilities do we have that can help the community during this time? And even though our buildings were all shut down, we immediately relicensed all of our centers to become emergency childcare for those working on the front lines of COVID. So anybody working in hospitals, in grocery stores, in warehouses, anybody who didn't have the luxury to work from home. And we were doing that with masks on and gloves on and temperature checks and social distancing for 5-year-olds, which just involves having them walk from place to place with hula hoops. And we also, because we serve more than 3,000 children birth to 5 in our Head Start program, we're the largest provider of Head Start in the state of Georgia, we have a number of commercial kitchens. Well, the children that we're serving, they get 2 hot meals every day at the YMCA. And so my immediate first thought is, where are they gonna get food? Where are their families gonna get food? So we fired up all of our commercial kitchens and just told all of our families, you can come to the YMCA and get meals every single day. And so between March of 2020 and the end of 2020, we served 600,000 meals from a YMCA Atlanta parking lot. And we served 3,000 children of those on the front lines of COVID during that time. And so I think for me, you know, you have a very old organization, but the reality is any organization has to adapt and evolve to be relevant. And I think as painful as COVID was, and it was extremely painful, it gave us an opportunity to really reevaluate who we were at our core and understanding that we can shift and really lean on our mission, and it doesn't have to be the things that we do every single day. And I think it inspired all of us in the organization to really challenge ourselves to be better, and to just keep asking, how can we show up and be the strongest community organization that we can be?
You know, I would say COVID, but then you. I didn't have to feed 6,000 people, have kids in parking lots, but if I think about how my work or my life has been game changing, some context of who I am would help you understand that. Somebody asked me recently, what do I do, or how do I respond when something unexpected happens? My life has been unexpected. Every day is unexpected. The nature of the work I do, something changes every single day. We go from looking at wonderful growing enrollments one day to literally death and dying on the campus the next moment. So as a campus leader with my team and My executive vice chancellor is here with me, so she is like my number 2 right beside me all the time. Dr. Mills, so happy you're here. We constantly face challenges, but I'll just tell you just a couple, minutes of my life. I arrived in this country 30-some years ago. I'm not going to tell you because you're going to start doing some math. 3 young children in tow to support my husband who had come to finish his undergrad. I am writing essays about my life right now, and one of them I'm writing really speaks to $1,800 in my pocket 30-some years ago to where I am today with my grown kids. Another piece of it writes about my story from the outhouse to the C-suite. So I come from very, very humble beginnings in the Caribbean, and throughout my entire career as I came to the US, a land of opportunity, it still is, let's not give up on that. I was able in this environment to navigate new spaces, and for me, almost every day for the last 30-some years has been game-changing, because I'm constantly in spaces I have never been before, connecting as I am in this room with people I have never met before, and every single day I have to turn up 100%, present myself as an authentic person, bring my full flavor of who I am, not hide any of it, and know that I wouldn't always be accepted, but I'm seeking to be respected for the work. So when we keep our students on campus, when we keep them in classes, when we navigate COVID and significant loss in our budget, and then fight to not lay off people and to sustain our campus so we can regrow as we're growing now every single day, particularly leading a campus that's just 20 years old, is a new day. And GGC was really built to be game-changing. So I think I found myself in the right place, doing the right work at the right time. So I'm excited to do it.
Thank you both for sharing. All right, we've got a question now for Tarita and Gina. How do you think professional volleyball and the Atlanta Vibe will be a game changer for generations to come?
Well, I think that the Atlanta Vibe is already a game changer. The fact that we have elite athletes that have come to Atlanta to compete and to show young ladies what is possible. I'm so excited that they are here. They are changing the game because for so many years, I think that people associated professional sports in Atlanta just with the male teams. And so by having females here and showing out and literally exhibiting their talent, they're showing the next generation of what's possible. And the thing that I find really impressive is that they're not just bringing young women inside their doors, they're going out into the community. And that's a game changer. To actually go into communities where young ladies may not be familiar with volleyball, where they don't understand that they can have a career in professional sports, that's game changing. So I applaud this organization for all of the things that they're doing and excited to be a part of their work. We actually partnered with the Atlanta Vibe. When we want to talk about game changing, we looked at some of the challenges that they face, that we face, our community, and landed on the fact that we wanted to increase access for the community and recognize that we wanted to make the matches really comfortable for people with autism and other disabilities. And so we have partnered to launch a program where guests can come in and get headsets so that they can be comfortable. They can get fidget spinners and other things just to make it a little bit easier for them to come and enjoy the match. And so it's about working collaboratively on those types of think big ideas that are game changers and will allow us to open up this whole experience to a whole new target audience and allow them to experience it as well.
Great job. Well, women's sports is a real game changer right now. And the Vibe, who's here for the first time? Who hasn't seen a game? Okay, you guys, your life is about to change. Because the vibe is a real game changer, and I'm gonna tell you why. Volleyball is the most popular team game among girls in the United States. I didn't know that. I just found about it. But I understand why. When I came here the first time, what I saw, I'm a big soccer fan. And when I'm used to the drama, right? So drama here, and I love wrestling too. So that's a different thing. So when I came here for the first time, and I saw those girls scoring, high-fiving, supporting, yes, yes. When they don't score, they do the same thing. They support each other. And the positive energy is amazing. And it reminds me of something. If it works, fine. If the things are iffy and you know what I'm talking about, it doesn't matter. We'll go through that. And those girls remind me every time that things are gonna be fine. That's why I love the vibe.
All right, ladies, thank you each for sharing and for your unique perspectives on how you've been game changers and how the vibe is changing the game here in Atlanta. We've got time for a few more questions, but I thought I might open it up to see if anybody here in the crowd. Sounds like they're taking the court upstairs. I know everybody's anxious to get up there and be a part of it. Is there anybody have a question that you'd like to ask one of the panelists? We've got about 5 minutes. Who's going to win? Vibe. We got that one covered. All right, we got a question back here? No.
I know Gina Espinosa, very humble, and I would love if she would tell the audience what her biggest risk-taking was in order to get to her incredible career.
Okay, I'll repeat the question in case everybody didn't hear it. Gina, we'd like to hear how you got to, or what the incredible game-changing experience was that got you to where you're at right now.
Oh my God, after listening to these ladies, what I thought is nothing.
One day I was without a job, and because of the Great Recession of 2008, I didn't say that I'm a Mexican immigrant, and I came here as a journalist. So I worked as a journalist for many years, and 2008 happened, and my newspaper had to make the hard decisions, and I was out. So I got another job. I started working as a publicist somewhere else, and they also ran out of money. So 2010. And I had to reinvent myself and pivot. So I became an entrepreneur, something that I never thought of, and it was not easy. That was the biggest, but I'm a risk taker. My husband, luckily, he's not. So I'm a risk taker, and I always go for it, and we will find out more about that. So I'm trying to be quick here. But what I always tell all the girls, and there are a lot of them here, I do a lot of mentoring. I work with young girls a lot. And I always tell them, if I made it, you can make it too. You don't be afraid of anything, because life is scary, the world's scary, but you just need to keep going. So don't be afraid of anything. Just thank you, Colleen, because you took a big risk with this, and thank you for giving us this inspiration.
Okay, we are wrapping up. I would like to thank the Vibe for hosting us tonight, for this wonderful panel of game-changing women. For those of you that have not been, this is your first game, you are in for a treat. I think we can all head up to the court and enjoy the game. Is there anything else we need to cover from the Vibe staff before we go up? Housekeeping items that I may not know of?
Yes, be loud.
Be loud. They've got a great hype girl. You guys are going to love it. So let's cheer on the Vibe for a win tonight, and thank you all for coming. I would like to offer wonder if there's any questions for the panelists, if you can maybe stick around for a minute or so. This was to be a networking event, so thank you for coming and support the women, and hope we have a great evening. Thank you all.